845, varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. This is 845, varsity man up. It's game time, everybody stand up. From my town to yours, we ready for sure. From the field to the court, yeah, we ready for war. I said it's game time, so it's time to score.
Hello everyone, this is Justin Rodriguez with this week's Varsity 845 football show. It's championship week, baby, and we have another great show lined up for you. We'll take a look back at some of last week's Section 9 playoff semifinals and look ahead to this weekend's championships. I'll offer predictions for all 5 championship games, and I have 2 features this week. Number 1, we take a look at by far the best team in Section 9 never to win a Section 9 title. That would be Marlboro, but the drought could end soon. And for feature number 2, we talked to former Cornwall football player Christian Lopez, better known as the guy who caught Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit. Of course, Lopez politely returned the ball to Jeets instead of keeping it and selling it on the open market. Lopez now works for Modell's Sporting Goods and has gone back to his roots, representing Modell's at some of the Section 9 playoff games. But let's start off with a look back at some of last week's semifinals, 2-minute drill style. In Class C, undefeated Burt Catholic took out rival Sullivan West 24-7. Matt Press rushed for 103 yards and Patrick Joyner returned a punt 75 yards for a score. Up next for BC, O'Neill in Saturday's Class C final at Dietz Stadium. We move on to Class A. Cornwall beat Monticello 36-14 behind fullback and linebacker Peter Cattell. Cattell had 2 touchdowns and a fumble recovery in the first quarter. We all know what happens next. It's the rematch everyone's been waiting for. Wallkill, Cornwall, for the Class A title at Fowler Field. Expect a tight one. Wallkill has won the last 3 meetings by a combined 6 points. After the win over Monticello, Cornwall defensive lineman Frank Denome talked about the rematch.
I think it's going to be a game down to the wire. We're going to come out fighting. They're going to come out fighting like they always do. And we'll see what happens. I've been playing Walker since I was a sophomore. We came up 2-0 against them, and then we've been 0-3 against them since. It's a rivalry, and you want to win no matter what.
Okay, ready for more highlights? Marlboro fell behind Red Hook 6-0 before winning 49-12 in the Class B semifinals. Ryan Carey and Mike Schoonmaker each had 2 touchdowns for Marlboro in a game played on what turned out to be the frozen tundra of Fowler Field. Matt Tambori, who had a 30-yard interception return for a touchdown, talked about playing in the elements.
Well, we kind of love playing in these conditions. I mean, our whole team came out ready to go. We knew it was going to snow. We practiced 2 days ago in an environment like this a little bit and kind of got used to what was really going on and kind of settled in when it started to start coming down.
Marlboro meets Spackenkill for the Section 9 Class B championship at 7 p.m. Saturday at Dietz Stadium. And that brings us to this week's first feature. When you think of tradition in Section 9, when you think about winning, Marlboro is one of the first teams that come to mind. The Iron Dukes have had some great players and coaches, some great seasons, but never has Marlboro brought a Section 9 title back home. You don't have to tell second-year coach Rich Ward that. He played for Marlboro, graduating in 1985. Ward, 17-2 as Marlboro's coach, talked about the drought.
It would mean a lot to our kids and the community. The community has been great to us and our program. So, we got a lot of pride in our town and our kids want it. And whoever our opponent will be next week, we know we got to bring our A game. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Marlboro is 0-3 in Class C title games and 0-5 in B championship games. New Paltz beat Marlboro 13-0 for last year's B title. The Iron Dukes entered that game undefeated. I think Marlboro will get it done this year. More on that when we get to prediction time. But Schoonmaker, Marlboro's quarterback, offered his take on breaking the streak.
If we won the first Section 9, that's a thing we'll never forget in our lives. And Coach always said it's played the next 42 minutes perfect or remember for the next 60 years how the result's going to be. So we just try to give it our all, rely on each other, and hopefully we'll bring home the first Section 9 to Marlboro.
He's the Jeter guy, a.k.a. Christian Lopez. He made national headlines when he caught Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit this summer and gave it back to everyone's favorite captain. Lopez ended up landing a PR job with Modell's, and you can find him at Section 9 games showing off his 2009 Yankees World Series ring. It was given to him by Modell's owner Mitchell Modell. But Lopez is back in Section 9 as a liaison for Modell's. Lopez, who was a lineman at Cornwall, graduated in 2006. Here he is talking about coming home and doing a little PR work in Section 9.
Section 9 for me is, it's like homecoming for me, kind of. It's kind of getting to see past players and some older players that aren't playing anymore kind of enjoy the games and see what Section 9 is all about now. I mean, when it was different with me when I was here, we were a little more smash mouth, and now it's more spread. So it's just different to see. It's good to see these kids out here, and it's good to see some good football from what I'm going to say one of the best sections in the state. So I'm excited to be here. So.
At many games, fans, players, and coaches, even administrators, take a double take at Lopez. Then they realize who he is. They ask him about the catch, tell him he did the right thing, and of course, ask to see his bling. That would be the World Series ring. Lopez talked about his fame, even if it might be fleeting.
Life since the Jeter's catch has been crazy. I'm all over the place. I'm working with Modell Sporting Goods now. I'm doing some marketing, considered the team ambassador for Brooklyn and Queens. And I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to some dinners. I'm going to events like this to hang out with kids, football games. I'm most likely be going to some basketball games over the winter, baseball games, just to kind of show Modell's is still out in the community, and we're still one of the top sporting goods stores in America and in the Northeast. So I'm having fun with it. I mean, everything comes with new adventures every day, so I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I might just end up in the city and someone might recognize me and it might just turn into a big thing. Or I'm just going to be hanging out and watching some Sunday Night Football, so it's just fun.
Well, Christian, thanks for taking the time to speak with us. Okay, now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Section 9 Football Championship prediction time. We will go by class. In Class AA, it's NFA versus Warwick, Monday at Fowler. I'm going to go with NFA. The Goldbacks' defense could be the best Section 9 seen in a long time, and they'll be lightning quick on the turf. It won't be easy stopping Warwick's offense, but I'm going to take Newburgh by 10 points. In Class A, it's Walk Hill versus Cornwall. You know J-Rod's pick, same as always, Cornwall. But not so fast. After picking Cornwall over Walk Hill 3 straight times, with Walk Hill winning each game, I finally learned my lesson. But it will be a close game, I can guarantee that. I'm going to take Walk Hill by 4 points or less. In B, I like Marlborough over Spackenkill. Marlborough has won 6 straight since losing to Spackenkill 21-6 on September 17th. Spackenkill could be without starting quarterback KJ Williams, who makes that team go. They are going to be partying at the Raccoon Saloon in Marlborough on Saturday night. Take Marlborough by 2 touchdowns. The Class C championship featuring Burke and O'Neill could be the best game of the weekend, this side of Walk Hill Cornwall. Both teams like to run the ball. BC does it by committee, and O'Neill does it with junior Jerry Nazi, who's rushed for over 1,500 yards this season. I'm going to take Burke Catholic with more depth and more playoff experience by a touchdown. And finally, in Class D, it's a rematch of last year's championship. Chester versus Livingston Manor Roscoe. Chester beat LMR 34-10 in last year's championship, but expect a much closer game. The Hamiltonians beat LMR 49-34 on September 24th. Chester running back Saxon Smith rushed for 469 yards and 7 touchdowns in that game. LMR will put up a fight, but in the end, they will get Saxonized. Take Chester by 2 scores. Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for watching and enjoy the championships. This is Justin Rodriguez signing off for the Varsity 845 football show.
Yeah, we ready for war. This is 845. Varsity, man up. It's game time. Everybody stand up. From my town to yours. We ready for sure. From the field to the court. Yeah, we ready for war.
I said it's game time.